Hi, welcome to Meeting Mapper for Salesforce. In this demonstration, I will go ahead and show you how to use Meeting Mapper, how to set up a meeting, how to save a meeting, how to change the stance and role or add a new contact into a meeting. So let's go ahead and get started. And first of all, I'm going to show you and explain the layout of Meeting Mapper. First of all, we're 100% native Salesforce app. So really only thing we add is this meeting tab, and I will show you that here in a second once we get done with the meeting. You'll see that the meeting is depicted, the physical depiction of the meeting on the left hand side, and you'll see that the attendees are color coded based on the stance. Are they for, against, neutral, red being against, green being for, yellow being neutral, blue being a participant for like the account team, and orange, which is undecided, and pink, which means that somebody said they'd be to the meeting but they didn't attend. So I can move users around the table. I can change the table by clicking around it or near it. I can change or look at the details of a meeting attendee by just clicking on this right here. I can change the stance based on the buying signals that I'm hearing from the users or not hearing. So like for example, I'm hearing some good things from Jane, so I'm going to change her to 4. And her level of participation has been very interactive. What roles does she have? We have about 30 to 40 different roles, and you can add your own roles based on your selling strategy. Notes about this attendee in the meeting, this particular meeting. Did they call in, yes or no? I can actually schedule next steps and action items and put them as part of the record of the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And what you're going to see now is Jane is green. She's calling in, so she has a phone next to her. You can see Sally is physically attending the meeting and she is against. And I'll explain these red and yellow flags. And also the roles that you depicted for this attendee are letter coded right here. For example, decision maker, economic buyer, sales engineer, the vendor, account executive, presenter. And you can create your own roles, again, based on your selling methodology. When we create a meeting, we also create a dynamic chatter group. This dynamic chatter group includes anybody in, for example, your org. So if you've got a sales team, like for example, Travis and Jim, they're in the same org, they're a sales team, so they're able to chatter in real time back and forth about, hey, Travis, slow down a little bit, or Jim, a little too deep on the technical stuff, and they'll get that in real time. Also, you can link a file, so if this meeting's about quotes or RFP, you can add it as part of a historical record inside of this meeting. On the right hand side, you're going to see a top back. This takes you back to where the meeting was originated from, or where it is linked to. Save, clone. So if I have a reoccurring monthly meeting or a weekly meeting, I just hit clone and bring the meeting back. The users will show up with no stance and the meeting notes, but the goals and objectives will be predefined. Add an attendee. I can add a company attendee. Somebody maybe on the product team or marketing, a contact from the account. Maybe I want to bring a partner in. And I can add a new contact in Meeting Mapper, and they will automatically be placed into the account that this opportunity is linked to automatically. And I can export, which I'll show you here when we get done in a second, public and private. You also see the account and the opportunity. This meeting is linked to this opportunity, and this opportunity is linked to this account. And when you link it, automatically we will populate the opportunity and the account, activity history, scheduled events, and notes and attachments. The subject, the time of the meeting, the goal, what are the objectives, and were they met, yes or no. That way you can report on them. Notes, these are notes that everybody will see. These are public notes. Here are internal notes that only the account team or who you wish to view them can see them in this export. Here's completed, so when you click that a meeting is completed, it does some things in Salesforce and kicks off some notes and attachments and things like that. So Let's say that I want to add a new user from the account, and I want to add Jim here. Okay, let's look at this. So as you can see that some of these people already have their role and stance created. This indicates that this contact has been in a meeting before for this opportunity. So now when you bring them into a new meeting, you can see historically what their stance was and role to see if it changes over a period of time. As you can see here, Jim has been undecided, and this has been his role. So I'm going to go back to my meeting, and you're going to see that now that Jim is right here, and he's been undecided, but it brings him right back in. So now let's say that, Jim, or let's say Jane. Jane seems like really, energetic today. She sounds like she's having a good day. She's really getting into the meeting, and I just want to kind of see what was her stance in the last couple meetings or however many meetings we've had. So I can bring these binoculars over. I can drop them on there. I can go, oh, great. She's been, for, undecided, against. So she's had a myriad of different meetings throughout the meeting. By the way, this is the first meeting that we had. That's why you see the green here. So I can look at the third meeting, and she was against, so I can try to figure out my strategy. So it's all done. I'm going to save the meeting. I recommend saving often. And now I'm going to go back, and I want to see what it does to the opportunity page. So now I'm looking in my opportunity. It takes me back to the opportunity. You can see that we have this little meeting section. You can create a new meeting right from here, and it links it automatically to the opportunity. We have an opportunity timeline and an opportunity report, which I'll come back to here in a second. We have any open activities. These are meetings that are scheduled in the future or any action item next steps that are scheduled. All my activity history. And like I said, when you click on that completed, what we do is we will go ahead and we send the notes section only, the public notes only, and make it part of a notes and attachment so you get an easy read very quickly. So let's look at opportunity timeline. Let's, for example, say that I have a big meeting coming up, but I want to do some research of, what's been the stance and role of everybody that's been in this opportunity. So I just click on this opportunity timeline, and it gives me a very visual representation of the meetings. Like, okay, everybody's green. This is Travis's sales team. This is the contacts. We're looking good. The next meeting, I've had some people join. Why did Jane join? Why did Jim? Sally's stance went down. Steve's went down. So I need to get with my champion or try to figure out what's happened between the first meeting and the second. A competitor come in? Did they open a ticket, for example, reference to some software? And I need to figure out exactly what's going on. And why did Jane? Is because maybe she's using procurement, contracts. I need to figure out why people are joining the meeting. And again, it just keeps on going through to all meetings are depicted. So I get a very easily, visual look at what's going on inside my meetings. It scrolls all the way through. Let's say, for example, that I'm doing some account planning, or I've had the sales rep leave or change of territory, which has always been a problem because deals slip, and for example. So I can click on this opportunity report, and what it's going to show me is all the activity associated with this opportunity, even before Meeting Mapper was installed, because we'll look back at activity history. But it gives me a very chronological order of the meetings, executive sponsor, the buyer, all the roles of every meeting. So now as a new account rep or taking over a territory, I could do a very quick read on this report. And so my first meeting is not really a first meeting, it's a continuation of the sales cycle, what we like to call business continuity. So you can report it, you can print it, you can send it to your boss, you can use it for when you have account reviews, monthly. So it's a plethora of knowledge that you can use to drive revenue as quick as you could if the rep was there or however you want to work with it. So this is the account or the opportunity page. We also update the account page. So all the meetings are in there that we put in here for all the meetings in for the account itself or for an opportunity in that account. We have all the contacts, open activities, activity history. Again, everything is driven from Meeting Mapper and populates Salesforce. We also in contacts. So now I can look at a contact and say, okay, what meeting Sally been in? She's been in a couple meetings. Here's been her level of participation, her role, any notes about her. So now, the next time I have a meeting with her, I can do a very quick recap and have a better hand of exactly what's going on. We also, based because it's fields in a database, we can build some very robust reports. For example, we track each meeting for the particular stage of the opportunity. So if you're having 4 meetings in ID to decision maker or 3 meetings in the proposal, you can determine, okay, I need to be able to cut down these meetings and shorten the sales cycle. How many meetings are you having with the stance? How many people have been for, against, neutral? What opportunity? So you can build just a bunch of reports to help you drive your behavior for management to be able to use to build strategy and drive and increase revenue. So this is the home page. We'll put any meetings in here that are scheduled. For example, this one. Automatically put in there by and driven from Meeting Mapper. So this is Meeting Mapper for Salesforce. This is our meeting tab that we do. You can add a meeting here, but when you add a meeting here, you need to select the object that you're going to link the meeting to, the time and date, and then it'll link it once you specify. So where I'm going to take you now is I'm going to show you our mobile app. So what you're seeing here is my iPad mini with Meeting Mapper on it. So I'm just going to click on Meeting Mapper here. This is truly a mobile app. You do not have to have any connectivity to do or document a meeting. You don't have to have Wi-Fi. You don't have to have cellular, anything. So you can document the meeting fully using Meeting Mapper. Again, it's pretty easy. I just click on Edit. I can click on somebody. I can change their role, their stance, save the Meeting Mapper contacts. All done. And let's say that I'm done with the meeting. I can save it, and I get back to my hotel, and I'm just going to add something here so you know there's no smoke and mirrors what I'm doing. So I'm going to put hi everyone. Save it, and done my meeting, 2.5 hour meeting, got all my good notes, I'm ready. Now typically you would have to go back into Salesforce and enter this manually, or be able to get any of that data at all. So what we're able to do now is go ahead and click on this sync button, hit sync. I've already linked this meeting to an opportunity, so I said, you want to sync it? Yeah, of course. Just got done with the 2.5 hour meeting. Do I want to link my images? Yeah, I took a picture of a whiteboard. It has a lot of information that I need to use to be able to drive strategy. I'll click OK here. So this is probably taken about 45 seconds. So if I go back in my Salesforce environment, and I'm going to go back into the opportunity, and the name of this meeting is called Sales Meeting. So I'm going to go back down here so I can see it. Oh, Sales Meeting, here it is. I'm going to click on it. And what you're going to notice, hi everybody, I have just updated Salesforce in about 45 seconds with all the information I need that I can share to everyone. So now that I'm back in Salesforce, I'm going to go ahead and let's look at these reports. So right after a meeting, I can go ahead and let's say I need to, my boss knows it's a big deal and I need to go ahead and send him a synopsis of what went on in the meeting. I can go ahead and click the export here, private. It builds a PDF of the meeting that all I have to do is save it, and then I can email it to my boss. Automatic. Or let's say, I need to get consensus from the customer that we had a meeting and this is really what happened. So I can push the public export, and what you're going to see is name, email address, goals, objectives, notes, or there'll be any action items if there's any. So now I have gotten this report, sent it out. I have documented the whole meeting inside Salesforce. I have driven information in Salesforce ecosystem. I've used my mobile device to capture a meeting in real time, sunk it back into Salesforce. As an added benefit, we also can bring over your Salesforce contacts so you can add them to meetings immediately. And then we can also, when you add somebody to a meeting here that's not in Salesforce, we will push that person into Salesforce for that account. So hope this video was had enough explanation for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please visit www.pointintime.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.